Hey everybody, since the day I got this GE 2-in-1 profile, I've been plagued with the same problems as everybody else. Predominantly drying and lint related issues, where lint was bypassing the filter and clogging up the heat pump. This was found to be significantly worse if you have pets owing to the excess hair, so I started conducting regular maintenance on the machine, producing a series of videos showing what I did and what I found along the way. But it wasn't just a matter of dirt and hair accumulating within the fins. It was a significant amount of moisture on the top end, affecting areas before the filter. Also, over time, it was affecting the drying performance, as well as the smell of the machine and subsequently the clothing. It became clear that the lint and dirt getting by into these fins was affecting more than the fins and the drying performance itself. Regular maintenance on this machine did well to clean out those fins of dirt and debris, as well as the rest of the top end. But another problem was revealed as the design of this drain was slowly clogging from all the debris collecting within this hose. This in turn stopped the proper draining of the top end, which is why moisture was accumulating, causing things to smell and reducing dryer performance. It no longer worked in concert with the pump because the water drained too slow, causing dirty water to remain in the system, further aggravating the problem. The lowest common denominator in all this was the filter design. The design of this filter is terrible. Nothing seals properly, causing the blow-by of dust, debris, and hair, which ultimately leads to all the issues that we're seeing. There are ways to remediate this issue, however, using a combination of seals on the filter cartridge. Different combinations were tested until the best possible result was achieved. Multiple tests conducted drying items with a maximum amount of lint production showed that it was possible to stop lint from getting through the rear, top, and bottom of the filter. During testing, it was observed that the best results have the rear seal inside the machine and not on the back of the filter, not only to increase the durability, but ease of use. The plan was to come back in 6 months, see if anything had bypassed with the new seals, and then ultimately, while the machine was open, conduct a maintenance, and while I was there, do that semi-permanent installation of the rear seal inside the machine. Shortly thereafter, everybody started reaching out to me about this replacement filter for our machine, wanting to know if GE had finally fixed this issue. So I went out and purchased this filter. It has now arrived, so we're going to test it out, see if it improved our situation, cured the issue, or did nothing at all. Let's get started. This should be a very quick unboxing. I guess it opens from the top. Trying again. I'll admit I was surprised with our filter packaged in the New York Times, but that's fine. Here's the filter. We'll continue unpacking it now. First, I'll confirm that part number. Do me a favor, help this video reach more people to repair their machines by hitting that like button down below. And that concludes the unboxing. At first glance, it looks nearly identical to the old filter with regard to dimensions, though I haven't yet measured these pieces up yet. On the front side, the plastic handle is missing, and that's to be expected as it gets moved over with it. Also, all of those thin silicone seals seem to be identical to the one found in the other unit, so no change there. Obviously, the largest and most obvious change is going to be that secondary filter found on the other side. We used to have that piece of foam, and now we have this membrane filter, which looks like a copy of the first stage filter found on the left side. There's sort of a hinge detent here, so we lift it up from the other side. It should come right out with no problem at all. Being how it appears to be the same filtration material, I'll probably get my magnifying glass on that to confirm this to be true. With a quick glance using the naked eye, it would appear that it is just 2 stages of the same type of filter. I don't know if that's better or worse than the foam. We're going to find out. Looking under the magnifying glass, I do not see any discernible difference between the 2 filter mediums and can only conclude that they're the same. To reinstall the second filter, this part is pushed into the detent and the other side is just snapped down. The fitment is much better than the other filter. The old filter has been removed. This was the drying of a lot of blankets and some pet articles. So we can see a lot of lint was produced, though none of it made it past the seals. Right up to the seals, but not past the seals. So this held up. This being part of the seal modification that was conducted in the last video. I'll clean this filter up right quick so we could start our comparison between the two filters, using a little bit of lint to collect the rest of the lint, standard practice on these, followed by the vacuum cleaner to get all the fine dust out of it. Also the seals I vacuum as well. But this is just the outer portion of the filter, as we know, because the inside tells a different story. This does not come off as glamorous as the piece on the new filter. We could still see a lot of fine particulate matter collecting in the foam that needs to be washed out. This kind of buildup will cause excessive resistance. For checking dimensions, I'm going to remove that front handle, and it's just a Phillips screw. Once that screw is removed, the handle will be lifted in an upwards motion to dislodge the pins. I'll show those pins here and here. Just like that, in that direction to remove it. We'll put this off to the side right now, and we'll start exploring the differences. To accurately review it, I'm going to have to remove all the seals that I installed. This is probably the only reason I would remove these seals was for review. And we can see after many loads of laundry, it still held on extremely tight. They're not falling off by any means. Taking me quite a bit to get this one off. I couldn't even grab this seal from the front to remove it, and gave up. Luckily, there was a tab in the back of excess I was able to use. And that one was on there too, no doubt. These are not falling off. One more on the bottom to remove. And again, this one was firmly stuck to the filter. No problems at all. Now they could be compared. Before I forget though, I want to point out that there's a small silicone insulator between the filter and the front handle. This is on the old filter. It is not included with the filter, so you want to be sure to remove this so you can place it on your new filter. Looking from the front where the handle would be, these are absolutely identical. I'm not even going to break out the calipers for this. This is clearly the same. And from the top, with the exception of the words embedded into the molding, we could see that that's also identical, with the exception of a small portion by the button. We'll find out why later. And that includes those silicone seals as well, not just the plastic. Here on the bottom, we do see some differences in the molding, but not the dimension. The old one has those holes in there, while the new one is shored up. Things get interesting in the back, because while the dimensions are the same, we could see here is just these lines, while here has these two holes for screws, as well as these raised areas, and it makes you wonder if they're planning on adding something to the back of this filter to shore up that problem in the rear. In the future, there may in fact be a piece you could purchase for your filter. That's pretty interesting. With the new filter on the left, another interesting change is the removable portion is on the left side. It's the first one exposed to the dirt, where on the old filter, the removable foam portion is on the right side. Now, why this is interesting? From a design standpoint, if the removable portion is on the left-hand side, that is the first stage, what we get is a design where there's no blow-by around that, because if it happened to, it would just blow into the next stage filter, which solves one of the small problems that we had on this filter. This side is a sealed unit because there's nothing on the right side. This doesn't address all of the blow-by issues with the filter, but it does address one of them. For comparison, we'll look at the setup of the old one on the right-hand side as the secondary filter, and it could come all through these cracks, the dust that doesn't get caught in there, or as this clogs, it'll find its way around it. If it was on this side, that wouldn't be the case, but you probably couldn't use a filter element like this as the primary, which is why they switched over to two of those membrane filters on the new release. Another thing worth noting is the maintainability between these two models. Looking at this first one, this filter membrane cleans like the one on the outside of the old filter that everybody's accustomed to constantly cleaning. This one, on the other hand, is foam that needs to be separated. It's flimsy. It can rip. You can't really see how much dirt's collected in there till you wash it out. And then when you wash it, you have to dry it. Then you have to reinstall it into this bracket. People are less likely to do that after every load of laundry, I don't even think it's feasible to do that when you have the foam filter. So that would be an improvement based on people's maintenance practices. In the end, I ended up measuring everything with calipers to confirm that the dimensions between the two were the same. Confirming that there's no way I'd be using this in the machine without putting my seals back on. Before the seals, however, we want to get that front handle back on, and that's going to start with this gasket, making sure that the flat side is pointed towards the filter, like this. There's little tiny plastic raised areas that it will sit behind, so I'm just going to bring it around and make sure they're pushed behind them. Not difficult. That looks good. We'll have a look all around the filter. This is not critical for the prevention of lint, but it will stop the handle from vibrating against the filter. Now I'll add the handle, that plastic piece, going into the top hole, and then we're going to push up a little to get the bottom one in, and it has to line all the way up before we can push down. We'll see right here it's sticking out, so I'll squeeze it together, and now I can push down, and now the handle is seated. Going to give it one last quick inspection, make sure that that gasket is seated properly around the handle. It's looking good. So now I'm going to take that screw that we removed earlier from the other filter, screw it in to full seat only. Remember, this is going into plastic, so once it's in full seat, I just give it just a little light snug, and that's it. Handle's done. Everything's looking good with this handle. We're going to proceed on to the next step, and that's going to be the seals. Here's the same seals I used previously, and the size is the same, so we can see how the old seal lines up without issue. Because the piece is new, I want to degrease the areas that I'm going to be applying the seal to so it has better adhesion. And the reason why I'm putting these seals on for testing, as demonstrated in the previous video, they were effective in stopping the dust from getting around the filter, something that none of these changes have proved to be effective against. I currently have a 6-month review underway for the effectiveness of these seals, and I don't want to ruin that test by putting this filter in without those seals. So while this filter is an improvement over the previous for a number of reasons, I still elect to make sure that before I use this machine, those seals are intact. We're ready to try it out. We'll check the fitment of the new filter with the seals installed, and I expect that the first couple times there'll be a bit more resistance putting it in than usual. Our first test will be a normal load of laundry, nothing crazy. We're not trying to beat up the filter. We'll do that for the next round. Now it's finished, we're going to pull the filter out and we're going to have a look. Again, there's a little bit of resistance pulling the filter out, and that's expected. After a couple loads of laundry, that gets better. We'll bring it into the light and have a close look. First, I'll hit this filter cleaned button. As expected, the seals held. We could see a lot of lint coming right up to the seals, but do not appear on the other side of it. Looking around the perimeter, right here, again, if there's lint on this side, it's absolutely fine. There's nothing on the other side of the seal. The bottom tells the same exact story. So regarding that issue, nothing changed because the dimensions are the same and I'm using the same seals that I've added. Looking at the filter, we see that everything interestingly collects in the corners, and that happened last time too. Owing to the shape of the molding for the heat pump, it's just how the airflow is. If I pull off that primary filter, we could see, putting it to the side, that stuff obviously got around it or through it. When I see hair, that tells me it most likely got around it. And if that was on the other side, as was the old design, it would have slipped straight through the cracks around the perimeter. But this time it could not, where before it would have gone straight around the perimeter right here into the machine. So that is definitely a notable improvement. Let's clean it now and do a pet laundry. The old technique applies, grabbing enough lint. I could assemble a lint magnet, and then I could use that to just wipe all the lint off of the filter. A lot easier, in my opinion, than having to clean out foam, wash it, and let it dry. The same lint is used again to clean the other stage of the element. This makes for a much easier maintenance of these filters than the older one. I'll finish off both with the vacuum cleaner now, and the foam, trying to vacuum the foam never worked out very well, but this works just fine. No doubt, much easier maintenance. Take these two pieces, assemble them back together, and bring it over to the machine for our next test. Of course, I still want to go through the machine with the brush and get any lint out that could have been caught on the tracks during the time the filter was removed from the machine before. That's good. Now I'll slide the filter back in, and it's much easier the second time, and subsequently be easier the third. loaded up with pet stuff. I'm going to set this for bulky bedding filled with hair and dirt. Set the soil level to heavy. Temperature, I'm going to keep on cold. And then I'm going to set the spin to extra high. I'm shutting off the fabric softener for the pets. I'm going to turn on more dry, just so the dryer runs even longer to capture more in the filter. Let's see what happens. I'm going to pull the filter out very slowly so we can see what falls off the sides. And we see on the left side before the seal is a lot of hair. Push down the button now, get my hand out of the way. And there's a big chunk of hair. All that hair would have been sucked into the system if that seal wasn't there. We'll take it into better lighting. Again, we see that characteristic where the corners seem to fill up first before anything. But we also see a bunch of hair sucked in through this handle. Seeing it on the other side of the filter, not really a problem because it got caught in that second stage. On the old system, it would have just been pulled into the machine. A closer look at the seals, nothing got past this side. All the hair is on top. Nothing got past the rear seal. All the hair is on the back. And nothing got past the bottom seal. All the hair again on the back. In this case, it's hair and caked up dust, not so much lint. So you can't use the lint magnet method to pull this off. So I'm just pulling out the hair. And now I'm going to hit it with the vacuum cleaner. And with the vacuum cleaner, it makes small work of the problem. We'll have a look inside. And as we see this hair, we know that it got around the filter because hair can't get through those membranes. Not a lot of it. It just came in right like that. And that's okay because, again, it got caught, not in the machine. In most cases, all we'd be doing is pulling out the lint and vacuuming. No washing, no drying, no squeezing out foam. Definitely an improvement, a lot easier to do. That's it. That's all there is to it. I imagine if it got significantly dirty and the holes were impacted, then it would need to be washed with soap. Put it back together and we're ready for the next load of laundry. So when you compare both generations of filters, the first thing you notice is that this one allows dirt to get through because it's on the wrong side. It's incredibly flimsy and annoying to work with. It's hard to clean, and that means best maintenance practices won't often be used. This one's main improvement is obviously the filter element on the other side, as well as an easier to clean filter element that avoids having any dirt get through the seal, which no longer exists. Easy to take apart, easy to clean, easy to maintain, and while debris can get through the handle, it doesn't matter because the second stage will catch it. But because the dimensions are the same, I'm still electing to use these seals because I know that most of it's going to blow by around this filter. Even though they have that special thing they've added here, maybe it's going to be a bolt-on attachment in the future. But until then, seals on all sides. I would definitely recommend picking up this replacement filter. If it's covered under your warranty, find out and see if you could get it for free. And that concludes the testing on this GE Profile 2-in-1 Next Generation filter. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, and informative. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below, helps me out a lot when you do, and hit that subscribe button to be notified of more videos like this when they come out. When that next video in the series comes out, a link will be posted in the top right corner. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?